what up, people? This is Mr. Pac with the TMP podcast, and I'm always representing. But this 50 and Mano stuff, man, is getting out of control. Well, Mano and the whole Jim Jones, Dave East podcast. I don't know the name of their podcast, but it's just getting crazy, man, because they just keep going back and forth, like I said, and they want to get 50 to respond, but 50 doesn't respond. 50 doesn't want to respond. 50 claims that he has an album coming out, the algorithm, that I think that's what it's called, and they want him to respond. But I'm thinking that probably 50 is gonna respond to everybody on that album. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna respond to everybody on that album, and I think they're gonna get what they're looking for. I think they're gonna get what they're looking for because, I saw a post that 50 did, a couple days ago, maybe like 4 days ago. I said couple, but yeah, it's like 4 days ago that he did a post, of all the posts that he does, but he was pretty serious about it. He's like, what? Wait, I'm gonna drop this album. And y'all gonna see basically what I said right now. Y'all gonna get what you're asking for. So hopefully he gives us, a lot of people say we're gonna get the old 50, but you can never get that old 50 back. You could get the feeling, but we are never gonna get that old 50 back, because he's older now. He's, more mature. He doesn't have that mindset, that I'm gonna kill you lyrically or musically mindset. You know what I mean? Right now he's in another level, which everybody else is on another level, like Jim Jones, all the rappers that came out in 99, they have a different mindset now, so we can never get that old 50. We can never get that old Jim Jones, old T.I., whatever you guys want to call it, but I think on this album, people are going to get what they're asking for. Well, especially those people that have been going at 50. And it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be interesting to hear. It's going to be interesting to listen to whatever 50 is going to do. We heard the one with Max B. It's like I said, it's not the old 50. It's the new 50. And it's, it's pretty fair. What he's doing is pretty dope. I'm not gonna say it's whack. Like I said, it's your opinion. This is my opinion. I don't think it's whack. I think it's fair. I think it's good for hip hop. And a lot of people are just gonna talk shit. They're just gonna say whatever they want. They're just gonna fucking ride whichever wagon is going the farthest, if we could say that, if it makes any sense. They're just gonna ride that wagon that's further. So I guess right now the fans have T.I. and Jim Jones and Mano, their wagon is going further than 50. So that's why a lot of people ride with T.I. and Jim Jones and Mano and all those guys, Clarissa Shields, the Papoose. Yeah, and Papoose diss 50, and it's a fire diss, like I said. But once again, what I said, we don't get that old Papoose, And with Papoose, we really don't know if it's the old, the new Papoose, because Papoose, I don't hate on him, I'm just gonna say what it is. And he's never had like a major hit. He's had some songs, but he's never had like a major hit, like all over the world, except that song that he did with Busta, where everybody came out, Missy Elliott, Lloyd Banks, Eminem, and, Papoose and all them guys, the Touch It remix. But, we've never really had like, well, he's never really had like a major hit, where we could say that, oh, the old Papoose is back. Papoose been doing his thing for the longest. He's been freestyling, he's been killing beats, so we can't say that, oh, let's get the old Papoose or the new Papoose. We can't say that. Like I said, at least in my opinion. This is my opinion, guys. This is not facts. This is the facts that I think are facts in my mind. So But yeah, man, like I said, shout out to all of them, man. Shout out to everybody that subscribes. Shout out to everybody that likes, shares, all that good stuff, man. And just like I said, leave it in the comments. What do you think? You think 50's album is gonna be dope? You think 50's album is gonna be trash? What do you think of what you heard of 50 so far? You think, it's worth it? Just let them talk, let them diss, and just keep it moving with the powers, with the, documentaries, with the, whatever he's got going on with the Street Fighters, all that, the movies, which is, he's doing good. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Like I said, I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me. I know a lot of people are going to agree with me. So, it is what it is, man. 50-50. This is what it is. YouTube, this is social media. So not everybody's going to agree with you on everything you say. But I appreciate everybody. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys keep liking, sharing, subscribing, because without you, this channel won't be possible. So you already know the Mr. Pod Podcast. Let's go. Let's get it.